I paired my knowledge of the female mind and how it works with literally dozens and dozens
ladies all want
psychological techniques,
but there's never a rose. And over there, the roses are frightened to bloom, so they never can grow. And over here, they need wool for weaving their babies' new clothes. But nobody has any wool, and the sheep are all lost in the harbor, lost in the harbor. Over here, they want diamonds to wear, but there aren't any here. And over there, everyone's hiding their tears, but they're crying inside. Wall won't come down till they're no longer afraid of themselves. If you don't believe me, ask yourselves, and then I can come down to the harbor, down to the harbor. I will fill the ocean back up with my tears. I still have a couple more years, and then I can come back to the harbor, down to the harbor.
Despite the fact that he thinks that he was sitting right on top of cubism, you felt a need after just 1 or 2 years of experience of cubism that you wanted to find a new path for yourself. And I take it that this is the way in which you found it, by an exploration of intellectual, conceptual terms, juxtaposed to the physical configurations that you made.
Yes, very soon that impatience with cubism, at least impatient in that way that I couldn't see any future for me. In fact, I've touched cubism rather little. The new descendant case is inspired by cubism, naturally. But the addition of movement in it, which seems to be futuristic, and is futuristic, but futuristic only because the futurists had spoken of movement, were speaking of movement at the time. That doesn't make it a new idea of theirs. Movement was in the air. There was something more important than the futurists for me in that case, was publication of fencing or horse galloping and so forth, photos, stuff.
That's my mind.
Yes, and that gave me the real idea for the nude. And it's only later, or a month later, that I saw the Bala, futurist Bala with his dog, 20 legs. And even there was only Bala and I who had the idea of multiplying the legs. But Shuni was entirely different. He really used planes more than lines. In other words, even today you can compare them and see there's no direct influence from painter to painter. Especially that I never knew him. I never knew Shuni and met him end of January 1912. And I never had any real relationship with them at all. So movement took me out of cubism, I may say. Up to then, I wasn't sure. I did the King and the Queen after that, and it was the end of cubism for me, end of 12. And already some other ideas came, how to get out of cubism, and I found it in the chocolate grinder, which was completely static then, although it might move if you let it move, but it was completely a reversal of forgetting about movement, forgetting about cubism, and finding some new way for my expression. And the source of it, as I said, was Roussel, who gave me the idea of inventing new men, so to speak, new beings, whether made of metal or of flesh. The bride is sort of mechanical bride, if you want to say. It's not the bride itself, it's a concept of a bride that I had to put on the canvas one way or another, but it was more important that I should have thought of it in words, in terms of words, before I actually do it. What a glass does represent is not a copy of the bride, the best clothes, otherwise. Yet there are parts that are called the bride, and the other part of the glass, which is called batch glass. In other words, you can see the batch in a sort of not abstract form, but at least not detailed form or not natural form. The same with the bride is a sort of invention of the bride. My own new human being, half robot and half fourth dimension. The idea of the fourth dimension also was very important in that period. Anything that has a three-dimensional form is projection in our world from a fourth-dimensional world. And my bride, for example, would be a three-dimensional projection of a fourth-dimensional bride. All right. And since it's on the glass, it's flat. So my bride is a two-dimensional representation of a three-dimensional bride, who also would be a fourth-dimensional projection on the three-dimensional world of the bride.
As you have gathered, the large glass has many layers of meaning, both conceptual and philosophical. It also uses many layers of symbols, primitive or sophisticated, but irony is always present.
Yes, it is an article. It really probably took birth in my mind from the fairs, country fairs in France at least, where they have the wedding scene.